Meanwhile, tens of thousands of Algerians continue to demonstrate as President Abdelmadjid has appointed a new Prime Minister. The protesters have said that the President Abdelmadjid Tebboune and Prime Minister Abdelaziz Girard must leave. They demand that a complete revamp of the political system should be brought about. Now, Tebboune, who came to power in a poll boycotted by a large part of the electorate, is seen as a pro-establishment figure. He had served as the Prime Minister under the ousted President Abdelaziz Bouteflika, against whom the anti-government protest first began in February earlier this year.
راك الجماعه ما عندنا مساكن ما يعرفوش، وقلت لهم باللي الحوار، قلت لهم ما حبوش يتحاوروا. هذه الفتره يا خوتي اختاروا من الفتره هذه يا خوتي. احنا شعب واحد، شعب مسلم، شعب جزائري واحد، 48 ولايه، ما نريد لا شيء، لا نقاء ولا جمل. هذا الشعب يحب، لازم خلاص ما خرجناش ضد الاشخاص، احنا ضد النظام.
Le régime algérien depuis 62, que je qualifie en tant que maire, en tant qu'un régime, une boîte de production de corrompus et de la corruption et de l'injustice sociale.
All right, let's now shift our attention to what is happening in Hong Kong, which, remember, has been reeling under protest for over 7 months now, and there seems to be no sign of the protesters relenting anytime soon. And yesterday saw some of the most violent clashes between the police and the protesters. The protesters marched through a shopping mall, demanding that the traders belonging to mainland China should leave the autonomous region. The mall is situated in Shui, a bordering town between China and Hong Kong. The protest was aimed at disrupting business in the border town and put pressure on the government. The protesters marched through the mall shouting, "Liberate Hong Kong and return to the mainland." The protesters, however, were met with a heavy hand from the police, and some very disturbing scenes that emerged from there. The police officers could be seen using batons and pepper spray on the demonstrators at very close range. Dozens of protesters were arrested for taking part in what is being termed as the shopping protest. Meanwhile, the Hong Kong police have said that the people in the territory are living in a state of quote-unquote black terror amidst the continuing protests. Now, the protests, which started as a response to a controversial extradition law, have inflicted a great amount of damage to the economy of Asia's business hub. And while the local businesses are suffering, the Hong Kong police themselves have earned about $17.3 million in terms of allowances during the duration of the protests. Now, the government figures presented in the legislature showed the amount had been paid under the meal and work-related allowances and also included the overtime pay for the officers.